Okay, so before we get into this week's case study lecture, let's just remind you about what you need to do in relation to the assessment that's associated with this case study. We are going to get a bunch of the world's experts in various different topics on animal behaviour. And your objective is to pick one, and as a maximum as two of those case studies, to then find a research article that you're then going to write up a report. It doesn't have to be about the actual research covered in the talk per se, but it certainly should be related to the themes of the talk. You've got 1 week to find that research article and 1 week within that same week to write up that 400-word report. It's pretty straightforward, but do read the requirements for the assessment before you start to do it. Okay, so it's my great pleasure to introduce this week's case study lecturer, Dan Blumstein. The joys of running a course online is that we can recruit the world's experts on particular research topics. Now, Dan is a professor in the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, and as well as the Institute of the Environment and Sustainability at UCLA. He recorded this lecture especially for you guys from his home in LA. He is a fellow of the Society of Biology. He is also a fellow of the Animal Behaviour Society. He is a former editor of the journal Animal Behaviour, as well as former editors for Behavioural Ecology, Biology Letters, Ethology, and a host of other academic journals. He himself is a prolific author. He has published and edited a range of different books on a whole range of different topics, most of them centered around the link between behavior and conservation biology. He is also one of the authors of the J Watcher event recording software. Now, this is something that we mentioned in the very first practical. Anyway, Dan is one of the leading experts in the world on animal behavior, and in particular how an understanding of animal behavior is often critical for successful conservation practices. And he's recorded his lecture on precisely this topic. So over to Dan.